Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast is the Formula One podcast straight to the apex. The boys are all back together, and aren't we happy? Yes, indeed we are. I'm reliably informed that this is the funniest Formula One podcast you'll ever hear. I mean, it's worth checking out just for that. I think we can agree. While you're here, milling around before we get started, just click that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, big high five. Like the podcast, share it with your friends and family. Leave a review, 5 stars, only 5 stars. Nothing like a 5-star review. Basically, get the podcast out into the world so everybody knows how great this Formula One podcast is. Right, let's get started. Here we go. This is CookieCast, straight to the apex.
Evening all. We are in season 2. Definitely episode 5. It is episode 5, Tony. We've checked, Andy's checked, Mark's checked. You still haven't checked, and you pretty much want to go to like the stewards and, debate it a little bit further, but it is episode 5. We're straight to the apex. I'm once again in the driver's seat, James Stainforth. Alongside here is Mark Wilkins, and at some point soon, he will actually wake up to watch the race. Is T-Dog Rawson. How are we doing, lads?
I'm okay. How are you?
Okay, thanks. How are you?
I actually thought you was still asleep then. I'm good. I'm no longer tired. I'm over the jet lag. I am no longer drunk and making very obscene comments in the middle of Madame Two Swords. But I'm good. I'll fill you in later.
Someone got in trouble for them little drunkenness, didn't they, in New York?
Which ones? There was
quite a few, but we can't talk about.
Well, who puts a bar? Who puts a bar in? No, sorry, not one bar, 2 bars. 2 bars in a museum.
Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless them.
Don't upset them, Tony. Don't upset Americans. That's the one country you are not allowed to upset.
Mexico's still in the bin, isn't it? We'll get Australia is coming very close to the. It's in the bin, but at the top. But we'll get to that.
Wow.
So yeah, episode 5. So as always, massive thanks to Andy and the rest of the crew at CookieCast for yet again still putting up with us. It's probably more out of sympathy now because they know we've got to put up with Tony, but. Big shout out to the lads, and as always, share the love. Let everybody else know about us on Spotify, YouTube, and anything else you might stream it on. Even if you illegally pirate it, you cheapskate bastards. Share the love. Share the love. So, Australia, what an absolute fucking gem of a race. I have got 12 people finishing, 5 episodes in, 6 fucks from Tony, 2 bastards from Tony, and more red flags than an episode of Jim Will Fix It. Absolutely class race, and I am really sorry for that comment. And this is me sober, so imagine what I was saying drunk in Madame Two Swords.
Oh dear.
It's all right, that part will probably get cut out, so I'm really sorry.
We'll just edit that out, Andy. Just that little snippet, just edit that out.
Yeah. We'll start again. Welcome to episode 5 of Straight to the Apex. There you go, just start it there. So yeah, lads, what did I miss?
Well, we had you missed the new segment, Tony's Bold Predictions. We have got part 2.
I did enjoy that actually.
And part 2 is a corker. I mean, Tony will probably say it's part 3 or part 1, but Bold Predictions is a corker later on. Tony hosted. You heard him fuck that up with the episode number. And still doesn't believe. But no, you was greatly missed last podcast, but now you're back.
I did enjoy it. I did listen back to it as as always, obviously, can't be that guy that does a recording of a podcast or anything, then doesn't really listen to it himself. It was good. I enjoyed that one. There were some really good chats going on in there as well. I can't remember what the hell you spoke about, but yeah, really good points raised. Tony, it is episode 5.
I'll go back and check. I'll definitely go back and check.
But obviously, before getting to Australia, you told me you had some opinions on Max and his dad. So, anything you want to share, or are you going to go for that later? Before
we get there.
No, let's do it now. Yeah, sod it. So he's a dick. That is all. No. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I actually felt for Max after race before last. So obviously he had challenges. What was he? I think he started P15. I think it was, if I remember rightly, something like that. And he fought his way and got to second. And also Alonso actually predicting which lap he'd do it in as well. I mean, bravo there. Tony, you need to learn from that guy. But yeah, it was just that he got such a good bloody result and everything else. And when he jumps into his pit crew and everything, like they always do, there's just no reaction from Joss. It was a slight pat on the shoulder. I don't even think they looked at each other.
No.
In all honesty, I think it was just like a blank stare. It's just the guy's never happy.
No.
He wasn't good enough world champion himself, and he's pushing Max into that way to become an arrogant so-and-so.
He's just a dick, isn't he?
I mean, I was thinking about this today. What reason would you have to be a Max Verstappen fan? What reason?
Dutch.
Yeah.
You hate Lewis Hamilton? Because a lot of Brits do. A lot of Brits.
That's true. Yeah. That's better than me. I just, the more he speaks, the more it pisses me off. The more he says, it's just, the more you're like, what is he on about? Like,
gun to the head, Tony. If you had to, George Russell fan, Max Verstappen fan.
Oh, George Russell every day.
Fuck off! No chance. Not
George
a chance.
George Russell.
That's a lie. You'll have been shot now.
No, the one word for George Russell, I think George Russell is naff. Is just naff as a person.
What does that even mean?
It's just.
I mean, so are you even old enough to know what that word means? I mean, naff was a word that me and Mark used at school.
It's just.
Even then, I didn't know what it meant, and I still don't know what it means. Yeah, George Russell is naff.
Well, it's like that, James. It's like George Russell is like, meh. It's just, he's not. Yeah. He's not the greatest. He's not. He's not the worst.
Is that what you're saying? He's beige.
Yeah.
Like earlier. It's just something you forget about.
Yeah.
I still don't get it, mate. I really don't.
It's just,
mate. Like, don't get me wrong. He is annoying as a person when he talks. That kind of that soft voice, and he's definitely got word of the day toilet paper out there, because he doesn't talk like most of the race drivers. You know, he's got to throw in the big words, even though you don't know what they mean. Like, oh, that guy did it properly. It's like that, mate. That's not even a word, mate. I've just checked.
Personality, 0.
But as a driver, mate, he's got a lot. I mean, he's pretty much all. In fact, I think he has always outscored his teammates, regardless of who he's been driving for, what form he's been driving it. He's always outscored them. And let's face it, granted, they was doing a lot of tests on the cars last year. A lot of the time, he outperformed Lewis Hamilton. And he did it again this weekend. He qualified in P2.
And I think that's where the main point of the hatred is coming from. It's not hatred, it's just annoyance. Is that
because he's outdoing Hamilton?
I want Lewis to get his 8th world title, and it just feels like George is just an annoying, like a buzzing fly around shit. Like he's trying to outdo him. Like he's trying to, like that try hard kid at school. Do you know what I mean? It's always like he's done all the homework, he's done everything, and he's just a bit better. Like just I don't know. And yeah, I give him his props. Yeah, he's got to do that. He's in the Mercedes team. He's got to race hard. He is talented. Yes, he's professional. Yes, he's good. But I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. I want him to get his 8th world title. That means he has to score above George. But George is his own racer in his own right. So he's always going to try his best, and he's always going to try and beat his teammate and try and score as many points. So it's always going to be there. It's always going to be.
So you want him to be more like Bottas, just roll over?
Yeah, you've got. And again, this goes back to arguments I've had before. There's 2 races, in my eyes. There's the best teams work, in my opinion. There's one racer that's number 1, and there's another racer that's number 2. And that's the safest way to drive. So if they ever come near each other, you always have a 1, you always have a 2. So we don't have this bullshit racing or going into each other or all the bullshit that comes with that. We have a number 1 driver, we have a number 2 driver. And that makes the decisions process of every race a lot easier and a lot safer. So, George, if you're listening, so sit fucking back, shut the fuck up, all right? That's my opinion, all right? That's my opinion.
I get what you're saying. I do. And I do kind of agree. I want to see Lewis get his 8th title. Lewis wants to see him get his 8th title. I think that's all he wants to do, get his 8th, and then he'll hang his helmet up kind of thing. But we all know how Mercedes work. They don't do the you're number 1, you're number 2. They've got some very simple rules, and I think they're fairly decent. Whoever's in, further up in the positions in a race, they get priority for the box. I think that's fairly standard. And at the same, it's too early at the moment to be saying, oh, number 1, number 2. Is at the moment they're both in contention.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit later on in the season, if Lewis is ahead by God knows how many points, or vice versa, then that's when Mercedes might start bringing in the you're number 1, you're number 2, and this is who we're going to prioritise kind of thing. But it's still early days, mate.
What I don't like, and bit of a spoiler to the race, I didn't like George on the radio, because that's 2 races now. He's come across like a whining little baby. Like, you told me to save my tyres, but I'm getting attacked by my teammate. Like, and he did this last week, the last race, when he was like, oh, I think we should, stay in this position for the team and all that bullshit. You are doing it for yourself.
Exactly. And that's another thing that annoys me. There's all these little things that add up. Lewis being Lewis and lives rent-free in his mind. So yes, we're a team, but he's clearly like, I will outscore him. I will outposition him. I will outqualify him. Like, in the race, these little comments. Like, but hey, I'm not from. They're the Formula 1 drivers, aren't they? They're the experts. They're all selfish. That's probably how they've got there in the first place.
Well, they are all whiny. I mean, Max with the Lewis pushed me off the track. They're all like whiny bitches, aren't they? I mean,
sorry, I forgot about that. He pushed me. I had the line. It's like, no, you didn't, mate.
It was a fucking move, mate. Like, I tell you what, let's not overtake anybody. Honestly, like, they're all at it. They are, like you say, George. I think George is. I think he's a bit fake in front of the camera, and I feel like maybe he's not the person that's portrayed in front of the camera. And are we starting to see cracks in this now? The whining on the radio. I don't like to admit it. You may be right about George Russell, Tony.
Wow.
You know the other thing that winds me up? No,
Tony,
I agree.
Tony
I think Tony's right. But the other thing that winds me up about the guy, mate, gloat as much as you want. Not going to happen very often, mate, but yes, we agree with you. He always looks like he's going to cry.
He does.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? He's got the really
well.
light blue eyes, and it's like, oh, fucking hell, mate, come on.
Maybe his press officer's pinching him because he wants that, like, look at the camera type look, you know. Like, right, ready, 3, 2, 1, I'm on camera, pinch me. He's always, yeah.
Like this, like strike.
His eyes are almost glassed over. You're like, are you going to cry, or are you trying to stifle a sneeze right now? I can't really tell.
Do you know who he reminds me of? A politician. He's like, he has the politics answer every time.
Yeah, he'd make a good politician.
He doesn't answer the question.
Well, he says it in the most
around it, or answers a question with his own answer to a different question. Like, just. Yeah.
And what was with him stood in the pit at the end, after the last red flag, like
leaning against the wall.
Yeah,
with his glasses on,
just sunglasses off.
Smooth operator,
like CSI Miami.
He's probably trying to get rid of that little meme thing at the moment of him. He's like, oh, here I am posing as Christ the Savior kind of thing. He's like, no, if I do this, I'll get something new and everyone will forget about that stupid thing I'm doing.
That's what, like back at school again, when it's like they're picking teams or something, or they're making everybody do certain things. Like, he's the try-hard kid, and he's up for anything just to try and fit in. And they've gone, right, we've got a special role for you. We need you to do this pose, and it's really special. And it's a bit out there, but it's really, this is one's for you. And he's like, oh, fucking, yeah, give it to me. I'll do it, yeah. So he wants to do this. Yeah, I'll do it. And everyone's just like, what a fucking dickhead. Look at that guy. Yeah, you got it, man.
Right. Mark, I've got a challenge for you, and only because you're really good at all the bloody graphic stuff, because it's kind of what you do for a job.
Mm-hmm.
So all the T's in the straight to the apex brand.
I know you're going to say you want George in his pose.
Yeah. Well, we've got to get them in.
Okay then. Well, I'll try.
Oh my God.
Keep an eye on the socials for our very brand new Facebook cover coming out, folks. If I ever start posting things on the socials again, I've been really bad at that. Apologies.
Yeah, same. I'm sorry.
So what news have we got then, guys? Got any news? Any breaking news? Any no news?
Only about what you didn't really see on camera. The before the race ended on Sunday, the people were storming the track, which I didn't realise, and they were climbing through the fence and everything. But they're obviously going to look into that. But no, I've not done anything else.
Loads of videos of that.
TikTok.
They're like climbing over the railings. They're on the track, and then you see the cars always. I'm not being funny, but even when them cars are going slow, they ain't going slow.
No.
I mean, even in the pits, I think the speed they're doing the pit is 80, something like that. Granted, that's kilometers per hour, and I don't know, but they don't.
I was disgusted.
They don't do slow.
You're not real fans if you're doing that. Like, what are you doing? Like, Sky did touch on it on the commentary, but on social media, some of the scenes are just disgusting. Like, there's people on top of the fence, like this 12-foot fence, they're on top of it, and then there's on the.
And this is just after every single pit crew had been told you can't go to the fences to do your normal celebrations and stuff like that, and then the crowds are just like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna.
And then they're picking up the cars, afterwards, and there's fans all around the cars with the cameras out and stuff, and trying to put them on trailers, and the car. Like, God knows what them fans have done to the cars, and just dangerous. Just
you know what that kind of brings me to the other point I was going to bring up with the whole Lewis and the comment of where the fuck is my team? Because obviously he gets out the car, he's celebrating, he's got P2, fucking brilliant result for him and everything else. And then when he gets out there, he's none of his team's there to celebrate. And I don't know who he's talking to, but whoever he's talking to, he just says somewhere, where the fuck are they?
It's sad, innit? But it's dangerous. These people might not be legit. They might be stupid. And they might be dangerous people. And I mean dangerous. I'm not going to say the word, but you don't know what their intent is.
No, you don't know. You don't know.
I mean, some people think that's where Lewis is. That's where the Mercedes team were. As soon as the crowd got out on the track, they just closed up all the doors. They made sure that the cars inside, they couldn't get into the pit box and all that kind of stuff. To me, that kind of makes sense. But
yeah,
there's some crazy
massive penalties for that. Not to drivers or anything, but to
you can't be doing that. Can't be.
I mean, in a football game or a rugby match or anything else like that, if there's trouble with the crowd, be it a pitch invasion or ripping up seats and throwing them at everyone else like that, the club gets a penalty straight away. They get a fine. Surely that's got to be the same for track owners.
Yeah,
it's a shame as well, because I think they extended the license there as well to like years in advance, haven't they?
But breach of contract, like safety is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I know it's Albert Park, and I know it's like a park that's open to the public the rest of the year. But no, it's it's not good when you've got them going through the cages and stuff.
No.
Sad. Any more news? Does anybody? I don't have any more news.
No, I ain't seen anything this week.
No, nothing really. It's been a quiet one.
Yeah, it's still quiet. I mean, we've got a bit of a break now, 4 weeks, haven't we? Because China,
don't like it.
Which is a bit odd. Yeah, we're just getting going, and we've got a month off.
Yeah, don't like that. Don't like that at all. Don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's quite
break, won't it? Another 4 weeks off.
Yeah.
Oh well, China. Less said the better.
It's only a good race there, though. It is a good track.
Needs to be around the world, this F1, doesn't it? And China is one of the biggest nations. It's just sad we can't have it there, but obviously
I understand the reasons. There's a lot of reasons. So yeah.
Yeah. Not much else to say.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Will they go back?
One day.
Will they ever go back? Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. Might end up.
There's money there.
Great Wall of China. You never know.
Oh, Jesus.
The rate it's going. The rate it's going. I'm telling you. The road's getting close. It's getting close.
What one of the oldest structures in the world?
You're selling it to me. You're selling it already.
Actually is a prestigious structure, Tony. And you're like, oh yeah, let's just get like 20 bloody F1 cars that can do 250 kilometers to an hour kind of thing. And just
I've got the jacket. You know I've got the jacket. Let's tarmac that bitch and let's fucking have a tear up. That's all I'm saying.
Oh mate. I'm full on branding now. So I want George Russell for the cheese, and I want you to have a hoodie now that just says, let's tarmac the bitch.
FIA.
If that wasn't like a Bernie Eccleston quote, just look at us. Let's tarmac the bitch and get some fucking race cars on it.
Stroll money, yes.
Oh.
And I know some oil money. I can better that. Asian money. Let's go. We can build it in 5 days.
Yeah, and it'll probably still be better than Miami. Who knows? Yeah.
Why have a fake marina when you can have a real marina?
Oh God, I forgot about that. That's coming back up in 2 races. The fake marina. Oh no.
Oh,
God.
anyway, I've got to be really careful here.
It'll
Really careful.
I want to make some kind of comment then, but we don't want to upset it.
No, let's
You
not go there.
You mentioned
Legally, they have guns. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. We've already mentioned. We've already had one red flag on the podcast. Let's not have another one.
Well, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm really itching. I'm going to send you
for free.
one day. I'm going to make it. Remember to message you at the halftime what I really wanted to say there.
Half this podcast is just going to be blared out. It's just going to be silence and just random interjections of people.
We apologise for loss of audio. This is you too.
Yeah. And his intro, bless the guy. So he's just going to be apologising straight away, going, I need to apologise. Folks, James is hosting this one. This is an 18, and viewers will be offended.
Tell you what, though, quick question. Where would you like a GP that's not already got one? Where would you like one? I've got one.
Cool.
The Caribbean. I think it'd be nice to have one there. I think it'd be good.
So let's go to a country that's got shitloads of poverty.
No, they ain't got all poverty. I mean, there's fuck all there. So literally,
have you seen like outside the hotels? And then let's put, also a lot of like, I don't know, gun crime and
you could have tracks going to different little bits of Ireland. Like, because some of these Caribbean islands are like spread out. So you could have like a track going to, it's just an idea. Different.
Well, the islands are quite small, Tony.
I know, literally.
Let's have a race on Easter Island. The track is 50 yards.
Yeah, that's true. They are quite small. So
let's go to Jersey. It's about a mile round. Let's just have a track round there.
Yeah, the island would be the track.
You've mentioned the Caribbean. Are you smoking something from the Caribbean?
No. Not tonight.
All in New York.
Yeah. I bet they were.
Unreal. Everyone can walk, you can smell it. It's like, wow.
No wonder you were sending them text messages. Drink and drugs.
Stoned and drunk, and I'm looking at like a wax model of bloody. Like that's like, oh.
Not looking, copping a feel.
I'm going to get kicked out for you.
Red flag. Second red flag. God, we're nearly Australia already.
And we still haven't upset the Americans, so we're doing well.
We're doing well. We're all right now.
We're doing great.
Qualifying then, lads.
Yeah.
What do you got? I ain't got much. I'm not going to lie. Other than Q1, don't really think much happened.
We had a few spins.
Yeah, apart from Q1, the first few laps and the red flag, it was pretty standard qualifying, wasn't it, really?
It was interesting because there was a lot of toing and throwing. When we got to Q3, and it was like, oh, Alonso's on provisional, but oh shit, no, Hamilton's took it. Oh no, Russell's got it. Oh, now Verstappen's got it. It was nice just to see that tussle.
Where did the pace come from? That was really the pace come from, because that was really good.
Don't know. Really don't know. I ain't going to complain as long as they can keep it and it's not just like a one-off like it was at times last year. Is it just track evolution or I don't know.
No, I don't. It was. I mean, practice. You didn't get the feeling that Merck were there.
Well, that was it. I think it was after P2 or something. Both Lewis and George both turned around and went, "Yeah, we're not there, and we need a hell of a lot to get there." And then the next day, they're just like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. Weird, really strange.
Yeah, but look, we've got to talk about Perez. Look, flying off in his Did he even get to start his fast lap, or was he still on his out lap?
We were 7 minutes in, so I think it was probably. I think he was starting his fast lap.
He must have been.
Yeah.
You can't see him locking up. I don't know.
Yeah, he must have been pushing.
Yeah, but even when you watched it, it didn't look like there was much in it. It was a lock up. He went straight on the gravel and into the wall. The only real comment I've made there is his comment he made, which was same fucking issue again.
Yeah, that's exactly the same comment I've made. Yeah, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
He had it a couple of times I think it was in P3. I think he was locking up again in P3, but even that had a couple, didn't he?
Yeah, even in the race, yeah, he locks up a few times.
Supposedly, they can't find the issue. They don't know what the issue is.
Is this the reining Perez back in? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
This is what I wanted to talk about. The fact that this happens days after, you get all over social media. Look how happy Daniel Ricciardo is. And it's like, oh yeah, and he's sat in a Red Bull car and he's getting a seat fitted for him. And then Perez goes and does that. And it's like, mate, you've pretty much just put a nail in your own coffin there, I think.
Different pressure, isn't there? Definitely a different pressure.
Yeah. I mean, Verstappen on his fastest lap did report issues with gear shifts and battery. So it's not Perez's car. They seem to be a bit brittle. But yeah, Perez was weird.
Fine, because what they did was they just took Perez's gearbox and put it into Max's for the race.
Yeah.
That way there's no penalties, right? It's only cheating a little bit.
Tiny little bit.
Oh, so he's going, meh.
It's naff.
Yeah, it's definitely naff.
Interesting. It's all very interesting.
Yeah.
What your thoughts, dog?
Well, what I've already said, it was just really strange, and the way he couldn't get back was strange as well. Like the way he crashed it and then couldn't get back onto the track was a bit strange as well.
Because he almost went forward and hit the barrier, didn't he? Like and then he reached it and then looked like he was going to get to that little escape road, and then
he kind of reversed and then couldn't get back out. Like it'd gone. Yeah, it was really weird, that bit though. If you look, like it was like a muddy track right near the barrier, and it was like really like dipped, didn't it?
And then maybe 1 meter from the gravel to the actual barrier was just mud.
Yeah, just got stuck. I mean, the clearance on them cars is like nothing, so it's so easy to beat them. It must be so frustrating. But what an awesome driver! Let's give it to him. I mean, in the race, don't want to get there yet. In the race,
I don't think we can really comment on his driving in the qualifying. It was like
it was over and done.
He's a good driver. Yeah, you can't deny that. He
did really well in the Australian. Not in the Australian, in the race itself. I mean, I know he didn't make as good a performance as Max did, the previous week, getting from 15th to 2nd. But it's a different track. It's Australia. It's not a track known for overtaking. You're stuck in dirty air. It was never going to be as easy. But yeah, he really liked. Was it turn 8 or turn 9?
Yeah, he just kept.
One of them. Yeah,
pinging another.
Every lap, he was taking another one on that exact same turn. He got that bit down to a T.
The DRS is on that.
Super DRS. I mean, let's be honest. That car is they're sandbagging, because they are sandbagging, because when the fact that we'll talk about it after the break, but the fact that Max was able to pull 4 seconds in 2 laps, they are taking the piss. So I think
I was about to say that.
I think they can just turn it on and turn it off.
Oh, 100%. They are just doing it because they don't want to be. I think we talked about it before. They don't want to show the true colours. and how far in front, because then everyone will go for him even more. They're hard in pace. But I think Perez did do well after the qualifying, but I think that, again, the red flags and the safety cars did slow him down. I think he'd have got to the podium if he had a clean race. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play to him.
But no, other than that, pretty
Albon.
pretty much just...
In the Williams. Top 10 finish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, he did well in qualifying. Hulkenberg getting 10th.
There was some good results in there.
But the Williams in that top 10, it was just screaming to me. It's like you've taken your nan to the ice rink.
Are we going to get the third red flag?
It's absolutely...
I think we're having a virtual safety car.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable. They shouldn't really be there, but everyone's looking at them like, wow, look, they're doing really well. That's awesome. Like, look at them go.
I don't know where you're going with this.
And it's all
Okay.
It all went its up.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of nan comments there. I'm a little bit scared. Tony, if you ever want to talk, where are you, mate?
I mean, I think on that note, shall we? Yeah. See you on the other side. Hopefully, when we're not talking about nans.
See you in a minute.
Right.
Now we're back. Part 2 of definitely episode 5 of season 2 of Straight to the Apex. Tony is now woken up and is just about to watch the race in Australia, folks. Tony, are you looking forward to it?
I can't wait. Sounds like it was a good one.
It really was a good one.
Did you watch it live, James? Did you get up early and commit and watch it live?
Yep, I got up at 5:30. I had a cup of coffee. I think I had some cereal. I can't remember. And then watched the race at 6. Did you get up and watch it live as well?
So I did, yes. I was running a 10K in Wivensey of all places, but I thought, do you know what? I'll get up at 5:45. I'll whiz through. I'll watch the race. Granted, the end bit I was kind of hanging on, but I timed it right. So I watched it live. Did Tony?
No. I actually got a message from Beth during said race while we was watching it live, just letting us know the actual F1 fan was still in bed. She's downstairs losing her mind over the race while Numbnuts there is asleep. But
that can't be right. That can't be right, James, because I got a text from Tony to say he woke up to watch the race and got a death stare from his wife, who wanted to go back to bed and sleep. So he went back to sleep.
Yeah, I got that message.
That's a real story.
Are you telling me that was a lie?
It wasn't a lie.
Wow.
I woke up at 5 to 6. Not 5 to 6. And I opened my eyes and sat up. And I saw my wife at the end of the bed. And I looked at her. And she looked at me. And she walked.
Sounds like an R. Kelly video. And I looked at her. And she looked at me.
And
we've all seen the video.
And she got back into bed. So I laid there for a second and thought, right, Tony.
Oh, you laid there and thought she got back in bed. I'm going to get lucky. And then
I didn't think that. I thought.
Then how did she send videos of her watching the race? This doesn't make sense.
I don't, unless she's then, she's took a video. That's why she's stood at the end of the bed, because she's just taken.
She's getting back into bed. Right. Oh,
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know what? if he hadn't have gone to sleep and everything else, we wouldn't have got this beauty.
That is true.
It's lights out, away we go. Hamilton gets away, well, Verstappen comes over.
Fernando's winning.
Hamilton's in second place.
Fucking fuck! Oh, it's all kicked off! Oh, fucking hell! Oh, you stupid bastard! You fucking stupid bastard!
Absolutely evaporated. There's got another red flag. That should be the race over.
I mean, if that wasn't Tony, that is pretty much mine and Mark's reaction every week when we're about to press record, going, "Oh, Tony's coming, he's coming," and then we get the message going, "I'm going to be 10 minutes late," and then it's us two going, "You fucking stupid fucking bastard."
That is absolute comedy gold. I mean,
That
if we
is
don't win an
absolute.
award for that shit on this podcast, I'm sorry, but
I lost count how many times I watched that. After it was sent to me, I lost count how many times I watched it in the space of 10 minutes. I then went on to share it with a few of my other friends as well, going, now that you've watched the race, here you go. He's a massive Alonso fan. And it's the bit when he first screams no and it goes high pitched. You can genuinely hear the guy's heartbreak. It is amazing.
So what start was that on? Was that the
That was
very
the
first?
third and final start
When it all went to shit.
when it all kicked off, and it.
I actually
Again,
thought that was his reaction to George going first.
George Russell. This is the problem. George Russell has given me this kind of PTSD now of every first corner because he's going to hit. You just deep down, you've seen it so many times. He's going to hit.
But he wasn't in the race at that point.
I know, but now after that, after every race after that, every start after that, you just feel like deep down somebody's going to hit the driver that you want, like, because it's all come from him. It's all come from him.
So we're saying Alonso being taken out
By Sands.
in lap 55, I think it was George Russell's fault.
No, my anxiety of the first corner has come from many first corners in the past of George Russell smashing my drivers out.
Oh, you mean last season? So Alonso going off in this race in lap 55 was due to something that George Russell did last year.
Yeah, because I'm like this.
That is
please.
Please. The psychological.
Yeah, I mean,
please just let my driver go.
I can see Ashton Kutcher redoing the butterfly effect, taking on no, forget that. Quantum Leap. Dr. Sam Beckett leaps back in time, taking over George Russell to make sure he doesn't hit somebody, so that in 2 years' time Alonso has a crash. And that will be the mission he has to do to get his leap home. And everyone gets the happy ending they wanted from Quantum Leap.
I do like in my mind to think that whole reaction was the first start where George Russell passed Max. Because if you play it again and just think of that first start,
why don't we just play that and call that every start? That's every start to every GP. Just play that. Just play that.
I'm going to be downloading the audio. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to make that my text tone.
That's it.
I want that as my text tone.
That just follow Tony messages. Just hear him shouting, "You stupid bastard!"
Because Alonso got tagged, then Stroll just went off for no reason.
I stand.
Cheers. Yeah, cheers. Great Aston Martin driving there, fantastic. And then out of nowhere, the Alpines just decided to collide and absolutely annihilate each other. So it was like, whoa, this is all kicked off.
Let's
I
start
think
at
they
the
got
beginning.
balls like.
Let's start at the beginning. We're
Start at the
jumping.
beginning.
Yeah, jumping.
Yeah, we have gone straight to the. I mean, granted, the end is what we're really going to be talking about here because that's where it all really went for it. But so yeah, from the start, Russell took the lead really well. Then Leclerc went off.
Stroll punted him off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He did.
Um,
Good lad.
I'm just going to kind of quickly go through it, and then we can just talk about bits of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, obviously Leclerc goes off into the gravel. Albon goes off in lap 7, but that's when gravel goes absolutely everywhere. The bit that's really scary about that is after he hits the gravel and all you've got is that big cloud of dust, and then I think it's Hulkenberg, innit? He just comes flying off the bend, and he probably misses him by a couple of feet, if that.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary, but yeah, red flag, which was upsetting because George Russell had just boxed. He'd just got his fresh tyres and everything else. Like, yeah, I can see you there, T-Dog. Just got his fresh tyres, and it was all, you know, it's like it's probably a really good move. And then red flag, and everybody. Well, no, I'll give the guy his due. He said, no, there was sorry there, George. You know, we made a bit of a mistake there. It is a red flag. You know, we've jeopardised you. And he said, I went, look, we did the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, give the kid some credit.
We didn't.
But yeah, I think they restarted in lap 10, and you had Max moaning down the radio about Lewis because he wasn't 10 car lengths behind the safety car.
Mm.
He's
That's not the rule, Max. That's not the rule.
No, I was worrying though at times. I was,
Yeah.
you know, when you're watching it from Lewis's car and then you get round the corner and you still can't see the safety car, like, oh shit, he is going to get penalised here.
And when they said they was investigating it, I thought, oh, he's done here. And then obviously someone knew the rule and someone didn't. What a shame.
Yep. Did enjoy that bit, prick. Then you got that nice little bit of a, well, I put it as a fight between Max and Lewis. It won, really, unfortunately. I mean, it was nice to see them two but up against each other again and stuff like that, which I've said in the past, but at the moment, Max is like fucking Thanos. He just looks at anyone and just goes, you know, I am inevitable, and fucking flies by the bastards. But
I've never seen a pass. I've never seen a pass on that corner like that.
He did that like nothing.
Yeah. And like you say, 4 seconds in 2 laps, and then he went to 6 because you saw the gap grow and you thought, wow. And then I think almost he was like, oh shit, I best back off here. And then he went off, and then the gap went down, and then he slowly built it back up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lap 18. This is a point that Tony will really want to talk about here. George Russell's car becoming Thunderbird 1.
Absolutely fantastic.
Well, maybe not Thunderbird 1, but maybe like Tim Burton's Batmobile kind of thing, you know. Back.
Or Top Gear drag car.
What? But it stayed the right way around because Hammond wasn't driving it.
On a clean run.
BBC really ain't going to like me on this podcast, are they now?
That license fee.
Jimmy, you go up the top. Yeah. Hell. Wait till I get onto The Apprentice and Bake Off.
Go on, guys. Careful. Gary Lineker will be after you soon.
Here I am eating a bag of cravers instead because I don't want this. What are you going to do, mate? Yeah. You're naff.
No, it was ace. It was amazing. Like, watching the flames come from the back of that mech with George Russell inside was a pleasure to watch. And supposedly it sounded amazing as well. Like, it sounded like it was gonna it was like a jet engine flying past.
I am not going to lie. I think it is because I didn't go to bed till late the night before. Obviously, I was awake extremely early, so I think I was a little bit tired when that happened. And at first, thought that was just a normal feature on the car. I was like, "Whoa!"
Well, that's a super duper DRS there.
Yeah.
Then about 5 seconds later, like, "Oh no, that's not right."
Fast and Furious NOS turn on.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love is, it's on fire, so it's something's wrong drastically, and then just to add insult to the whole mechanical engine, they then absolutely flog it to death with fire extinguishers, just to fuck it and to completely fuck the car up. I love that.
That was.
I mean, in fairness, the car was on fire, Tony.
I mean, I know. So they had to extinguish
it. It's not a birthday cake where they can just go up to it and go, "Make a wish, guys." Fucking things on fire.
That was all to protect Woody's face.
It's like a chip pan. A wet towel on it will be fine.
So yeah, it was, and obviously it was George as well, so it was all real upsetting, and my heart bled a little bit, and the violins came out, and yeah.
You were thinking, Ben, Woody, Ben, melt
Woody, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the only guy when you're watching Toy Story 3 and they're going into that little fire pit at the end.
Yeah.
What are you going? That's you, George. Go on. Burn. Wow. Very dark. Welcome to Straight to the Apex, folks. This is not the dark line. Other things I've put, Sainz. He had a really good drive through most of the race. We'll get to the main point on Sainz soon, though. And obviously, we've already touched on it earlier on. Perez with his drive. Yeah. Guy did really well there. He was having a really good drive.
Boston.
And then, something that George Russell did about 2 years ago, kind of shat all over Perez and 8 other drivers all in one go.
Yeah, that's how that happened.
Yeah.
So what I've got on that was K-Mag's tyre. I think he went over a bumper or something like that, didn't he? And snapped his suspension or something.
Did he?
It was weird. He just went wide and the tyre hit him. He didn't realise it had come off. It was almost like he'd stopped concentrating. It was almost like he was a bit tired and he was just like,
It's another one of the added features. It's a way of reducing weight really quick to get a few,
Yeah. He did it for the drama on Drive to Survive next year. There was a button that Netflix pressed and his tyre just popped off so they can talk about it. Yeah. Are you ready to come in?
The way it blew up though, that was the rim just shattered and it hit somebody in the crowd and crazy.
Yeah. And that's
was it a red flag? Was it a red flag? I would say yes.
I would say the debris on the track, yeah. I'd even say the gravel one was a red flag. It's a red flag. You cannot drive through all that gravel. I don't know why.
I'm going to say the gravel definitely is a red flag. I'm trying to. Yeah, because didn't his tyre hit another car behind, and that's where we got all the debris. I'm trying to bloody remember.
No, it hit the wall.
The tyre bounced up. They hit the wall, didn't it? I think we'll go together, Tony. It bounced across the track, and I think the car smashed into pieces, wasn't it? Yeah.
So further down, you had a car with 3 wheels, an absolute wrecked rim, and then further up the track, you then had a wheel, debris, and then further up the track, you'd had the impact on the wall and more debris, and they're saying that debris has also gone in the air, come down and splashed somebody's arm as well.
Yeah. Oh, really?
But it's part street circuit, so yes, red flag. Clear it. Get the car off the track. It's safety. It's all about safety. These cars are driving at a very, very, very quickly on a designated area. It needs to be perfect.
You can't drive through carbon fibre. You can't drive through gravel because it'll click up and the driver, the halo won't do anything for that.
No.
And I mean, Lewis had said on the radio, there's a lot of debris on the track. And I was like, yeah, 100% it's red flag every day of the week, unless it's a wide, old school, prestigious track where you can take them off the track, and go around it, and then they can sweep it up. But again, the marshals have got to all be on that track. It's a red flag. I don't get the drivers moaning about it. But it actually set up what potentially was a two-lap sprint race.
Yeah, I was getting really excited for that.
And then that went to shit.
Because, oh, Christ. Yeah, K-Mag went off, red flag. They all went in. Then they came back out.
Then they came back out.
And that was the next start. And that's when it became the absolute shit show.
But that is racing. And that is what we all pay to see. Drivers on the edge of the limits to win points. And if that means people crashing into each other, into a wall, lose it, that's fine. That video of me there, that's why we watch it, for emotion.
Yeah. For that passion. Yeah.
Exactly.
And everything else. I get that. Although I'm a little bit concerned about you, Tony. You're like, we want to see crashes, we want to see this. If we see a decapitation here and there, I've had a good day. Like, fucking hell, mate.
No, I agree with the red flags. Completely agree with them.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And this pisses me off that people are questioning them. How can you question the red flags? Who are you to question them? It just shows you're a bandwagon F1 fan, motor racing fan, and you are immature in motorsport because the red flag for a reason. It's for safety. It's not for entertainment.
I think my view's broken because this guy down here is making sense.
Yeah, I don't like it. And I
made you guys up the wrong way. This
last year as well. As soon as there's people having to get on that track, it's a red flag all day. And it's one of the things that they didn't do enough of last year.
Yes.
The stewards out on the track because they can't see where they're going. So we're going to do a virtual safety car. Like, what? No.
The first red flag, Science was like pleading in the car and doing all this. Just because you got caught out, mate. If you were Lewis got shit on when it was a safety car because George went in the pits, rightly so, because he was the lead car. Lewis would have got shit on, and it just so happened that then the red flag come out and George got shit on. But if Science was Lewis, he would not have moaned on the radio. And that goes back to the point we made in the first half. They're all selfish. They look after themselves, and they're like footballers now. You can't believe what they say on the radio is just for them.
Going back to the first,
a lot of that radio is gameplay.
Yeah, it is 100%. Yeah.
Lewis was doing a lot of it again, going, I don't know if his tires are going to hold, man.
Yeah.
It's one of his oldest ones.
Yeah. And again, why I don't know. They just, again, that's us because we've been watching it for so long. They say things on the radio to test the water, to try and put the other team off. That's part of the game.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
That's part of the game.
I've got to ask, and I think it's a good talking point as well, and it is about Sainz's 5-second penalty. I'm not going to say should he or shouldn't he have had it, because we all know the answer to that. But should they have told him?
So, do you think he should have got the penalty?
Do I think he should have got the penalty? I think it was a bit harsh, but going by the rules, you caused a collision.
Totally agree.
So, yeah.
Totally agree. Yes, all the cars are bunched up about the safety car. Yes, it then seems a harsher penalty.
Yeah, if it was lap one, it'd probably be deemed as like a racing incident. But
the penalty's the penalty. There's no penalty to say, well, actually, you hit him. we'll just move you back a place. Yes, the penalty was that they went back to the original order, so Sainz missed out on the podium. But then you caused that. So
well, no, it's not even that bit.
I know what you're on about.
They had to do that because of what, you know, the whole Silverstone thing last year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I think they did well to actually keep to their standards and stuff like that. The reason I'm saying, should they have told Sainz there, is going back to the safety thing.
Yes.
As soon as that was announced, you've got one. We haven't even got one lap. It's a case of the safety car is going to peel in at the pit lane, and then you're all going to roll over the checkered flag. But Sainz even said it. Was it? Oh no, I think it was Jenson. No, it was Jenson Button on commentary. He said every single person behind him is going to be right up his arse now.
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking they should have waited till after the race and then gone, Sainz, you're getting a 5-second penalty. Just for a safety standpoint kind of thing, because as soon as that safety car was in, they're all going to bunch up.
Yeah.
And if one of them go quick enough, you're going to have another bloody accident out there.
Well, the Lewis warm-up lap, all them cars that were going too fast and shooting off the track, and there were almost tried to blame Lewis, and I was like, no, they've got to be accountable and think, oh, there might be a car on the corner. Just go steady. It's a warm-up lap.
Yeah.
People are so quick to criticize. It's insane. Like, isn't it? Just on all these points, the FIA, they're for safety. Now, I agree with you, James. Why did they do it then? They should have done it after the race.
Yeah, they should.
However, it caused a racing incident. Did they have to nip it in the bud then? Did they have to?
No,
because
then
they've got the time to then sit and go, he caused a collision there. Yes, I mean, if it was in a race, we would have had 3 or 4, 5 laps gone by the time they would have then gone, by the way, this is your penalty. But because they had time to evaluate and make a decision, I think their hands were tied. I don't think they were stupid. I think their hands were tied and they had to make that decision.
What it is for me is it's that one rolling lap. There's nothing after that. At any other time in the race, you know, if there's like 20 laps left or something like that, or you're already going at full speed, and then they go, you've got a 5-second penalty. All the drivers behind you know that, but there's not much they can do about it then. You know, so they've got to catch up, or it's just a case of, look, mate, try and close that gap between you and Sainz, get that lower than 5 seconds so he ends up behind you at the end. Absolutely fine with that, but because it's that kind of, there's going to be 100 yards of racing effectively, and every fucker behind you is going to be so far up your ass. When you cough, you're going to taste Brill cream. That's
yeah.
I mean, why didn't they just end the race?
As soon as the flag was done, then they could have gone, so you are getting a 5-second penalty for that, and that puts you in 12. It's not like the other week where it's like, hey, Alonso, you didn't get it. And then 5 hours later, oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
But that's the thing. Again, damned if they do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
It was a fast last race, but then this race, oh no, that was unsafe. Do you know what I mean?
I get why they finished the race, because you then got the allotted laps in. I mean, basically, they were set up for a 2-lap sprint. There was a big accident. Shit, what do we do now? They should have just gone behind the safety car, kind of finished, or then said, right, do you know what? We'll call it there. That's the order before we started. Jobs are good. Why Haas thought they could appeal it, the order, that was a bit odd. Because Gunter Steiner was like, well, definitely got a case. No, you haven't. Because they didn't pass through a section. Like, the sectors we see are halved and halved again for the FIA, and I don't even think all the cars pass through one. So you can't give that as an order.
So do you think the right decision was made in the end to restart the race as it was, as they did? I think it was. It was. It took a long time to get there, but I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they got it right.
At least they took the time doing it. They didn't just rush through it or anything else like that.
I mean, the Alpine.
And they're going, oh, you know, you should maybe do this.
Yeah.
Mm.
The Alpines, what the fuck happened there? I do not know.
Gasly just didn't see him. It was
there was no in it. It was
No.
just blind spots.
yeah. He just didn't
Just
see him.
watched.
Yeah.
Well,
And it was,
Because they're
What was
saying
it?
the cars are write-off. Both cars are absolutely mangled.
well, yeah. No wonder they're against that concrete wall.
Like,
Yeah.
and I haven't heard anything much since.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Right.
guys have.
Running short on time anyway, guys. So, what's these bold predictions then that we had?
So, well, I'll just quickly whiz through them. So, Tony's bold predictions. Perez breaks down. He did in qualifying, but he's not having that. It's still wrong. Aston Martin will crush it. Mercedes were quicker than them. Wrong.
Nobody ever
Ferrari
saw it.
crap. I mean, Leclerc was
I
unlucky.
liked it.
Sad.
50-50.
Yeah,
50. One of them went off.
yeah.
I mean,
we'll kind of give him kind of that because it wasn't
Yeah.
their fault. Yeah.
The
So-
biggest laugh of the whole weekend was when Sainz flew from third or fourth after that last lap. He literally, I've never seen a driver fly from one position off the scale so quick on the left-hand side of the screen after when they all finished at the end. Honest to God, he literally just got wiped and he just went.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was so funny, so funny. It was just like game over.
So, do you want me to go to the predictions then?
Aye.
So, okay, so I'll start with the girls first. So, Katie went for Alonso, Lewis, and Russell. So, she got Lewis in second. So, she got 2 points, doubling her score to 4 points. Charlie went for Max, Alonso, Leclerc. She obviously got Max correct, got 3 points. She's on 6 points.
I like your enthusiasm. We
Beth.
nearly got there. We nearly got there.
Beth had no points, even though she literally is Tony's research. She went for Max, Perez, Russell. She got Max. She's got a total of 3 points. So, the boys.
The big boys.
So I went for Max, Perez, Alonso. I got Max and Alonso. So I went from 3 points and I jumped to 7 points.
Nice.
James, Max, Perez, Alonso. Also, there was no conferring, was there? You sent me yours.
I was in
No,
a different time zone.
exactly.
Two swords.
So again, you went from 4 points to 8 points.
Ooh.
Mr. I'm cocky and had a big lead, and now it's only down to 2 points. Had Max, Alonso, and Stroll. And only Max Verstappen saved him. He went from 7 points to 10 points. So with a slim lead is Tony with 10, followed by James with 8, me with 7, Charlie hot on my heels with 6, Katie on 4, and Beth now on 3.
Wowza.
Wowzer.
So Adam as well did give some predictions. Max, Perez, Leclerc. He only got Max correct.
Ah, okay. That's that column.
But he don't get any points because he's not on every week. That's his fault.
So, I haven't asked Charlie our predictions this week yet. And I've only just realised now that I'm making notes. I'm like, oh shit. So, should we get the girls off air and just put them onto the socials so they're official and just get ours? Or
I was going to say, because we've got a bit of a break now, why don't we do our predictions and the girls' predictions in a couple of weeks, and we'll do another podcast.
We'll do we'll do a mid-break one.
Yeah, because I mean, we can, there's lots to talk about Merck. There's lots to talk about, and we haven't even touched on. Well, we touched on it a bit. Super duper Red Bull. Why are they so fast? Because not cheating. Sorry.
I mean,
actually, that was one of the things I liked in the last episode. And I think it was Adam that was touching on it, and he said with them, that little bit of a budget breach, yes, it's cheating, but the risk appetite of it gives you potentially 4 years of domination. I thought it was a really good point that was raised.
Yeah,
that so
I did.
yeah, we should touch on.
Maybe that good pointedness from a Rawson has kind of rubbed off on Tony tonight, because I feel like he's been in touch with, you know, normality until he talked about weird shit and George Russell causing a crash when he was in the pits. But, you know, apart from that, he made some sense tonight.
But this is when he like grabs his skin there and just rips it off like Mission Impossible style, and it's like Adam underneath.
I mean,
No,
for shits and
guys.
giggles.
It's all me.
I mean, have you ever noticed?
I'm
You ever
all
seen
me.
Tony and Adam in the same room?
No, never. No.
You
Yeah.
have. I think you have.
I mean,
Shut up,
for a
Tony.
laugh,
I don't want to go. I don't want to mention the go-karting again, but you've made me do it. What can I say?
Adam beat me. Must have been. Can't have been you. I mean, for a laugh, should we play the video again, James? Because I really do want to hear.
I
And
mean,
it will be on the socials as well. Once this podcast is out there, it is going on the socials, folks.
we can have,
Ladies and
we can have-
gentlemen, this is the last start.
I call this recording passion.
It's lights out, away we go. Hamilton gets away, well, Verstappen comes over.
Another way. Yo, guys, go.
Hamilton's in second place.
No! No! Fucking fuck! Oh, it's all kicked off. Oh, fucking hell! Oh, you fucking bastard!
Stroll.
Fucking stupid bastard!
Alpine.
Absolutely evaporated. There's got another red flag. That should be the race over now.
The other thing I like about that video
Is
is
it the
that
end? The very end. I literally just go.
Yeah. Look, it's your dog. I can't remember which one it is, but he just kind of like looks at you, carries on doing what he's doing, and then looks at you again, and he's just like, he's not even phased.
There
Again.
he is again, fuck's sake.
Not even phased. Well, at least he's not from the TV remote this time.
I mean, all we can do is say, Beth, you married him. I mean, like, bang.
That's it.
Yeah, and maybe just get him some plastic cutlery or something like that going forward, just so that, you know, if he does slam his hands down, he doesn't break any of the nice china.
True.
In fact, I've still got John Spider-Man plates in the cupboard there. You can maybe have them when he grows up. He don't need them anymore.
I've got Gabby's Hello Kitty bowl he can borrow. That's plastic.
There you go.
Nah. I'll be all right. Next time, we should do story time again.
Okay.
And maybe a quiz, because we haven't had one yet.
Well, that is true. We haven't had a quiz.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. So,
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good.
well, let's get it all. Let's figure out who's going to sort out the quiz and whatnot, and then we'll. Oh, mate, do I ask Charlie to put a quiz together or something?
Oh, now that
Let's
could be good.
discuss off air and let's get like an Uber quiz kind of going. One that we're all going to be fucking shit at,
Yeah.
or at least Mark anyway. You know, but it'd be nice if he doesn't win one for once.
We'll see.
But yeah, and on that one, folks, that is it. The end of what is definitely episode 5. Definitely, Tony.
Supposedly.
I've been your host again, James Stainforth, with Mark and T-Dog. He's finally awake, but unfortunately it's now time for Azerbaijan and not Australia anymore, Tony Rawson. As always, big shout out to Andy and Cookie Cast. Share the love. Make sure everyone's listening to it. Your window cleaner, your dog walker, your cousins, whatever, you know, your mistress. Even some random guy who's just walking by on the other side of the street, just run up to him, go square into his face. And when you're right in there and he's looking all scared, just go, have you listened to Straight to the Apex? And then just walk off. Why the fuck not? Freak them out. But yeah, share the love, guys. Lads, had fun again as always. Speak to you again in a few.
See you later.
Toodles.
Bye.
So there we go. What do you think of that? Fantastic as always. Looking forward to the next race. If you are, let these boys know. Drop them a line. You can do it in a multitude of ways. Jump over to the website, grab hold of one of those social media links, let these guys know. Or send them an email. It's thecookiecast.com. Recently renewed cookiecast.com. That's right. While you're here, before you go, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's a little click of a button. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to the guys. It means a lot to the Formula One boys. Just a little click of a button. Also, if you're clicking buttons, you might as well click that like. And if you've got a few spare minutes on your hands, you could leave a lovely little review telling the whole world how much you love the podcast. That's it for this one. Till next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
This has been another episode of CookieCast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share and subscribe.